Okay, let's read the little sample. When Jesus speaks, if we obey, he thrusts us through the forbidden abyss, revealing truths that challenge our perceptions and reform our hearts. We rise to new levels of understanding. If what we understand nourishes our heart, then we desire truth, so we go forward with him to learn more truth. Through the forbidden abyss, may the world experience the Jesus I have known as they read these pages. From Gabrielle Chana. Gail Cord Schuler? According to God, all of what is happening has already been foreseen, and the Jesuits are falling right into his plan. You are his favorite person on the planet to work with, which is why he's gone to such great lengths to protect you and your loved ones. All we need to do is keep up what we're doing and evolve and adapt to the continuing threat. When we lose battles, our failures are part of God's ultimate plan. In the end, we will come out on top. God says you are the best. Gail, you rock, is what he bellowed to everyone at the news studio before making his leave. Brent Spiner on January 29th, 2012. Did he say that? Did Brent Spiner say that? Brent's Forbidden Ground, 1990 to 1992. The lore goes quite a ways back. We're just gonna read a little bit of it. A little bit. Isn't that libel? Is it libel to make up quotes about somebody? Maybe it's a fictional character that just so happens to share the same name. Let's get some BGM going. Brent Spiner lay on his bed and dreamed of Gail that October day in 1990. He looked out his window from his Toyota at the Paramount Studios parking lot, and the tall toothpick palms with their leaves, just tufts at the top, seemed motionless. The Southern California dry heat bore down on his head. His Gail, no doubt, felt a cold, crisp breeze when she ventured outdoors from her apartment in Linwood, Washington. Doxed? If he walked beside her, he'd see snow-capped peaks, not the dusky, far-off California mountains, which he could barely make out because of the smog. She's kind of based. These California mountains only served to remind him that this Gail perhaps was only a glorious figment of his imagination. For over a year, he called her with the number she gave him in her letters. She was sending the real Brent Spiner letters with her phone number, and somebody was calling her, and she thought it was him? Is that what was going on here? Maybe it's just fanfic. Brent had fallen in love with his fan, a nobody housewife and mother, who bared to him a soul far from ordinary. God, he just couldn't get this woman out of his mind. Of course, he never talked to her, just called her number and heard her say, "Hello?" Oh my god, she thought telemarketers were Brent Spiner returning her phone calls. Because he said nothing when he phoned her, she hung up on him. He just wanted to hear her voice. Despite millions of letters from fans, her photo and words stood out. From 1989 to 1990, he fell in love with a fan from his fan mail. She described in her letters to him what she felt raged in his heart, and the dreams he longed for, and what her thoughts were about life, and how life could bring meaning and purpose through her heart caressing his. No, those weren't her exact words, but it was her heart. She somehow felt the innermost longings of his heart, and with those words fulfilled his deepest longings. His long, thin fingers caressed the pillow he held, imagining the pillow as her breast. What the fuck? Ah! His slender, feeling mouth whisked across the pillows, as if taking in her softness and womanliness from afar, soaking in dreams of loving her, of kissing her body. He sensed fires behind her soft eyes and longed to feel them. To find his solace for the day, he began looking for her letters through the pile. She had no idea how much he longed to read her words. Read it sexier! Pippa, this is your chorus fanfic! No! No! You're bad! You're bad! Oh god! Oh god! This is scaring me, Chad. It's scaring me. Eerily similar. It's like looking through a mirror. Something about her face. Something in her eyes. In that photo she sent him. Such sweet softness. Such womanliness and courage. When she finally heard from him in August 1990 and made a tape for... What? Made a tape for him and heard her say... Okay, she was singing in it. She was singing in it. Okay. It was over for him. He'd dream of Gail for the rest of his life. His heart rose on angel's wings. The words she had written him over the past year now leaped into his heart, so that his heart danced with feelings he never dreamed possible. She was an angel from heaven. How she managed to keep her soul so pure and divine, he had no idea. But she saw divinity in him when he portrayed Data in Pen Pals. When he tried to save a little girl from a dying planet and she refused to believe that for him it was just a performance. She believed in him, saw greatness in his eyes, and now he longed to be that great man she believed in, to make her proud of him. This poor man! Oh no! This poor guy! I want to know what it looks like from his POV! Because I get some schizo messages sometimes, but I don't know. I wonder what it feels like for Brent getting fucking video. Oh, well, you know what? I've had schizos send videos of themselves singing to me. You know what? You know what? Brent's literally me for real. And I'm literally Gail, for real. No, as he was so proud of her, the vastness of her soul she hinted at in her writings, though he perceived her husband had no idea what lingered in the depths she dared to divulge to him. He knew she thought he didn't read her mail, so that gave her courage to bear it all to him, and he drank in her spirit as the most divine and pure soul he had ever encountered. His dreams of her inundated his days, imagining her as his companion day after day, longing to hear her sublime words, submerging himself in them over and over, drowning in them. In awe, he wondered how one so high and fast oh yeah, she's high, would long for him as her audience. Yes, him, the humble, jaded actor. She was authentic, real, pure, and passionate, scared to bear it all except to him. He absorbed from her vastness because she saw it in him, when his character Data on the screen saved the little girl from the dying planet. When his letter of reply finally reached her, she read his words in amazement. "Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. They were read with appreciation." Oh yeah, manager. Oh my god, she thought. He loved to read her thoughts. Perhaps he loved her soul. She had dared to expose all her forbidden dreams to him because she knew for sure he would never read them with interest. But at least someone on Earth would know that liberal and tolerant soul she had, that she feared to bear with her strict church-going crowd. He probably thinks I'm a wishy-washy, namby-pamby, she had thought. But didn't he say that he appreciated hearing her thoughts? Oh my god. Somebody loves me for who I really am. Her entire childhood, her mother drummed into her how unworthy she was, so that she now believed it. Because of this, when she dated guys in her 20s, she forced herself into a strict Christian mold, only revealing those parts of her personality sure to be acceptable to her church-going crowd. The only group where she felt she could find an acceptance that meant something to her. But this world-famous actor and awesome person said he appreciated hearing those forbidden thoughts. He loved the real Gail. To ensure her response to him would be acceptable and moral, she replied with a cassette tape of her singing, bearing her soul to him. Moreover, how she sang. With passion and depth, then what she sang. She sang Christian hymns and played piano with a fire and passion that reached into the depths that had long slumbered in him. I believe it. Skittles together strong! Daniel's here, I think, for those. This stream is like a train wreck, horrified, but I can't look away. I'd say she needs Jesus, but I'm afraid what she might do to him. She said earlier she's gonna receive Jesus as semen. We already learned about this. Hearing her sing was like hearing an angel from heaven reach down into the deepest recesses of his soul, transforming dusty skeletons into mountaintops and majesty. His heart and soul became a torrent of emotion and now wanted her. All of her. He wanted to rape all of her. What? Brent's kinda kinky. Children's book, by the way! Oh, I'm so uncomfortable. But it's such good content! He wanted to rape all of her, have all of her, and thrill her in his bed. Oh my god, what a courageous and uplifting soul this woman had. The fire and passion in her voice, in the tape she mailed him of her singing, stirred his heart down to its deepest core. He knew he loved her, but what should he do? Famous actor had fallen in love with nobody fan, a married woman who was this most extraordinary woman in the world. His nerves rattled him. Would she return his feelings? What about her husband? But all he wanted was to know she was real, and then to take what he could of her. Her letters showed she cared, but no romance for him emanated from her letters. She told him flat out she was married and had a kid. Oh my god, she has a child! What are you reading? It's called The Forbidden Abyss. 16 hours on the set of Star Trek The Next Generation drained his energy. After all the awful makeup came off, he rushed to his bed to make love to her in his dreams. He did this for a year, often living in a trailer on the set, equipped with refrigerator, table, bed, like a miniature motel room right on the Paramount Studios lot. On his back, staring at the ceiling of his Hollywood Hills ranch-style home, he imagined her in his arms. His arms seemed to sigh, as if in dream, then reached for the phone, dialed her number, longing to hear her voice. Hello? Yes, she was real. The tone in the voice matched the spirit of her letters and the voice in her singing. Her voice resonated through his mind. The words in her letters roamed through his consciousness. Those words swam through his heart and brain and colored all his hours. He got her first letters in 1989. Her words and photos colored his life then and again and again. She soared in his dreams. His heart reached for pinnacles. Now in October 1990, he heard her voice in his mind. That voice that answered the phone. Well, he said nothing. Knowing that she was real, he clicked the phone down as gently as a kiss. Each time he called her, she answered with the same wonderment in her tone. Oh, fuck. It's sad this isn't the worst writing I've heard. It's not the worst, but it's not good. The voice followed him into Paramount Studios, to his home, inside his car, on the hillsides. This sublimity, this infusion of wholeness and passion and courage she brought to him, so infused him that it flowed into the music he created for her. Oh, Yellow Eyes' his back flowed with his love for her. He caressed her with his voice. With the songs he chose to nurture her beauty and the tranquility and sweetness she brought to the crannies in his heart. Knowing now the angel was real, he had to love her. When he heard her sing, when she answered his letter to her with a tape of her singing all Christian hymns, but hymns from the depths of her soul, that vast soul that he so worshipped. All he suspected about her was true. He was in love with an angel of fire and passion from heaven. He created a music album for her in response. With his music, he caressed that deep and beautiful soul. He sang words to make love to her, while he imagined her skin on his. That she transformed in his life seemed to escape her. She thought him the big star who tolerated her letters with token friendship, and not the actor who longed to experience all her crevices. How his feelings for her surged, how they damned themselves inside his heart, seeping out for expression. They leaked out onto his bed. Through feeling fingers, through his dreams, into whispers of longings, groanings she never heard. They exploded onto his consciousness. They surged to the surface. They longed for expression. And then, in May of 1991, she moved near him. Oh no! 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 Bros, is NTR art? Oh my god. Okay, She moved near him, to Seattle, only a 1-hour jet flight from Los Angeles. What? Seattle to Los Angeles isn't a 1-hour flight. That's like 5 hours. What? What? Her new phone number glared at him. His fingers longed to caress her. His lips longed to kiss her. His skin yearned to touch her. May, the month of spring, the month of new beginnings. So close to him, so close to his lips, to his body, to all he longed for her. Nothing about the music he created for her came in any of her letters to him. She did not plan to buy his music. His heart fell. She's writing fan fiction that Brent Spiner is upset that he wrote music for her and she did not buy his music. And there's like this weird cognitive dissonance. Or not cognitive dissonance, but this is weird situation where it's like, if she truly loved him and was obsessed with him, then why did she not buy his music? You know? Also, Data from Star Trek makes music?
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips. Right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.